Hello, and welcome to You Write, the podcast where creativity meets community.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matt.
Each week on You Write, we challenge our listeners to write a story in just 30 minutes, using 3 of 5 randomly generated words.
It's a fun and fast-paced exercise to spark your imagination and get those creative juices flowing.
We'll read your submissions, offer feedback, and discuss the unique twists and turns of each story.
Whether you're an aspiring author or just love a good tale, You Write is your place to explore the endless possibilities of storytelling.
So grab several unraveled Twizzlers, get comfy, and let's dive into this week's stories.
And remember, the only limit is your imagination and 30 minutes. So let's see what you got.
Yeah.
So Rachel, what's up with you? Why do you sound crazy?
I know, I sound crazy because I, in fact, am not in person with you right now. I am in my car. I'm out in the bush. I'm in my car in Houston.
In your car?
Yeah, I decided to take a page from Richie's playbook and do the car. It makes sense.
It really does.
It's like a little, it's like a little sound capsule, you know, it's like a little studio.
It really is. Yeah. And to take that idea even further is that there's like no parallel surfaces inside of a vehicle, which is where like all like echo and stuff comes from. So it's perfect for that. So yeah, excellent idea.
It kind of works.
Yeah,
it kind of works. So I came here to visit my boyfriend, and he is currently at work. So yeah, here we are. I'm actually sitting at a Starbucks parking lot.
Oh, you could be that person who goes inside and records their podcast inside of a Starbucks.
Oh, that would be so bad. But I could be. I could.
You could.
I thought about it.
It could be fun.
And it could be. I might still do it just to provoke people, just to enrage people.
That'd be fun.
It would. I would love it. Okay, so how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm all right. I had a kind of rough end to my week, but it's good now. We're good now.
Okay, yay. Yeah. That's the good thing is that we've always got the this too shall pass situation, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and last week was a doozy. Or I guess this week.
Was
Whatever.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I know what you mean.
The week is done, and there's another one next week, so.
That's right. You get to do it all over again.
Hooray!
Hooray! Woo!
Woo! So, did you see all of our stories for this week?
I did, and they were very sparse.
Yeah, not a ton of stories this week, which is fine. People get busy. They got things to do.
People do get busy. Shit happens, bro.
It really does.
I get it. I fucking get it. That's what happened to me this week. I really was wanting to use that prompt to expound upon Yabardo, but just didn't happen.
Yeah, I had all kinds of plans for Saturn's return as well. It just would have fit perfectly, but no.
I know.
No such luck.
But
so
no.
Here we are.
Nope, did not happen. But guess what? It did happen for 3 of us. For 3 of them.
Yeah, and good for you guys. I'm a little jealous.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And who did we decide to read this week?
Nick. We're reading it. Who's reading?
I'll read it while I got the microphone.
Okay. Go for it.
So this is Alchemy by NickedYou. Nadia drifted in the ring of Jupiter and watched passing moons as her neomatter nexus absorbed nearby dust, consolidating relevant data, as well as mass energy. She was here to create a satellite to watch over the gas giant, for scientific purposes as well as defense. Psychic phenomena were rare anywhere people were absent, but it did still crop up from time to time. This satellite would be using cutting-edge tech she'd helped develop, to try to look out for anything big that might pop into existence uninvited, even at a distance. But she was more fond of watching Jupiter and its moons. The neomatter nexus granted her an incredible sensory array, and even still, she could scarcely grasp the scale of what she was watching. One moon gained upon the other, each of them large enough to be planets in their own right, and Jupiter loomed behind them. She gathered up enough dust that she could begin making the satellite and break even in mass energy for the trip. The mundane sensory arrays were not too hard. The Neomatter Nexus had come to her with a far wider array of sensory technology it could provide, so long as she could understand it. But this was for the use of others, not herself. She couldn't watch Jupiter and the stars, and keep an eye on Earth, and advance medical technology, and combat pollution, and all the other chores she had to take care of. She could give people a hand, but it had to be so that they could take care of themselves. And then hopefully others, or she'd just be bailing water. The hardest part of the sensory array was the stuff meant to look out for psychic phenomena. She had some knack of psychotechnology. She was chosen as a Nexus host for her merit in large part, but it was still very hard to wrap her head around. Using symbolism in computer circuits was bizarre, and yet it had worked so far, experimentally. The rest of the computer components were also a hassle to lay out and materialize. The red spot of Jupiter, for a moment, felt like a very large and judgmental eye looking down at her. Nadia hoped that wasn't a sign that the planet would come alive or something. She liked Jupiter. She didn't want to have to fight it. It took a couple of hours, but it did get done. Encased in a solid shell of a single piece, which none of the dust could drift into and gum things up, and imbued with the right kinetic energy to stay in orbit and not collide with anything. The last part was getting the faux entangled communicator up. That was mercifully easy. The other end was already eagerly reaching out. The communication was superluminal, but still on a delay, so it took a few minutes for the signal to reach Nadia. Alchemy, we're receiving a signal. Performing systems checks now. It took a few minutes more, but she finally did a fist pump when it was confirmed that the new satellite was up and running. She felt like she lived up to the superhero moniker. She had been a key part of an operation that could have cost billions and years, but was instead just a single day. She let herself relax, in space, for just a while longer. The sun was dimmer at this distance past the habitable zone, so the stars shone even brighter against the black, pinpricks of light brilliant in their contrast with the swirling, angry tapestry of Jupiter. She did still have some shared classes in the morning, though, so she wanted to get back before too long. She hadn't figured out how to get rid of her own need for sleep. That seemed pretty deep in the way the human brain worked, and the Neomatter Nexus had a lot of safeties preventing her from trying the things she wanted, which she had to admit was probably for the best. She went back to the warp trolley she had used to venture out this way, and absorbed the dust that had collected, and filled in the dents that had been made by larger, faster debris. She fed the mass energy into... The vehicle was totally unusable to anyone but her, just a bare minimum platform with a warp function to allow for some relativistic travel, without any protections from space or the ludicrous speed it traveled at. It did have something to anchor her in place, bonding with an artificial frame she had formed as part of her shell suit. She made sure to look back at Jupiter when it activated. It gave her a thrill to see the huge planet rapidly shrink in size, making her heart jump in her chest. "Hey," she told the Nexus, "let's look at the makeup of those rings. I want to see if we can get any hints about their age. I bet the guys at home will be interested to know." She pored over the data for the hours-long trip to Earth.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yeah. Yeah, awesome story.
Yes. Yeah, really cool story. I really enjoyed this story. I found myself really getting into it, and I don't know. I just really liked it.
Yeah, and I don't say awesome superfluously. If I'm using that right, I really do mean that. It's just a very awesome idea. Like just this, you're
Mm-hmm.
out floating in orbit around Jupiter, setting up a satellite, and it's just you. It feels so
Yeah.
very just awesome. Yeah, it's the best word I have
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
That's a good word. Because awesome also like indicates a grand scale, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. And we discussed that scale too. Yeah. It's so, yeah. Yeah. I love that inclusion of the scale.
Right. So Nadia apparently is some type of superhero, it seems. Because it says she really was living up to the superhero moniker, like as though that's something that she's been called. And she was doing something in just one day that like should have taken years to do and billions of dollars. And then we get another indicator, which is that the vehicle she uses, the vehicle was totally unusable to anyone but her. So like what makes her so special that she's able to use this when nobody else is able to, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it goes on a bare minimum platform with a warp function to allow some relativistic travel without any protections from
Yeah.
space or ludicrous speed it traveled at,
Mhm.
which implies some
Yeah.
of the abilities that she must have.
Yeah. I'm imagining like a Jeep, like with an open frame, you know?
Yeah.
She's just like traveling through space and like there's zero protections. It's just like a platform, but she's somehow able to make that trip in it safely.
Yeah. It's just like some sort of far high tech hyperdrive warp engine strapped to the frame of a Jeep. And she's
Yeah.
just along for the ride
She's like flying through space.
on a
Yeah.
Jeep. Yeah.
Right. I read Nick's comments where Nick was like, "Oh, I wish I would have done more with her like um banter with the systems control or whatever he said or they said." But I like it the way it is, honestly.
I
Like
do
I feel like
too. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why, but I feel like if there had been more like cliche banter, it would have detracted from the coolness of this story and it might have annoyed me because I would have just been like, okay, we've got our stereotypical banter that has to happen, you know? Our
Yeah. Yeah.
obligatory banter.
And I think
Hmm.
I agree. I think it would detract from the overall tone that we get. This
Yeah,
awesome
yeah.
feeling that, which again, it's just that it's permeates every paragraph of this. It seems like, but also it clues us into how comfortable Nadia is in an environment as astounding as this one. So I agree. I think the banter might have actually distracted from what you were trying to do. I
Hmm.
feel like, which is setting up this technology and also kind of rooting us in this superhero setting as well as these psychic events that you're kind of cluing
Yeah,
us into.
yeah. I agree. I totally agree with that. And I want to know um, more details about the cutting edge tech.
Yeah, well, I mean, even just out
But
of the gate, we
mhm,
get just the opening paragraph. Nadia drifted in the ring of Jupiter and watched passing moons as her neo-matter nexus absorbed nearby
mhm,
dust, consolidating relevant
mhm,
data as well as mass energy. So the ideas that are being presented here, the technology ideas, and whatever neo-matter might imply is fascinating, but also
mhm,
using mass
yeah,
as energy, that's certainly a well, it's a real idea that it plays on E equals mc squared that Einstein theorized and proved, but also just
mhm,
it's using mass in a way that's actually kind of scary. The amount of energy that's saved up in mass, like if we actually go through and measure it, is tremendous, and it's a scary amount of energy stored just inside mass. But there's no way to really release it. So the implications of what's set up in the opening paragraph are fascinating, just from it's like a science fiction standpoint.
very fascinating. Um, and what are the things that she like wants to try? You know, like there's safeties in place that don't let her try the things that she wants to try. You know, like I want more details about the cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if it's stuff that she can't do, just kind of implying what she would do were it not for these safeties. Yeah.
Yeah, like what she has the power to do and the ingenuity to do, you know?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Sounds pretty badass. But yet she is in fact still a human because she needs sleep, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I love that kind of grounding us, and she's not just godlike with powers. She still has limitations, like she needs to sleep. I really like that.
Right. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Mm-hmm.
Well, what else you got?
I like the detail added at the end about how she's like, okay, well, I've got to be on this this hours long trip back to Earth, so I want to like use my time well. So she's like, ooh, I'm gonna look up something about the makeup of the rings, you know, to get some hints about their age. I don't know. I feel like that was just a little detail at the end, but it was cool. Like, it's interesting, you know. Like, that would be amazing if we could actually like access that information, you know.
Yeah, physically go to that and see it and observe it and capture information. Yeah, absolutely. Which is really kind of the same sensation that I get from the prompt itself. This really did, I thought, have an excellent observation skills. I'll take it back to what we were kind of discussing last week, just being an observant writer, and the way that you wrote about this prompt, like the description specifically. The Neomatter Nexus granted her an incredible sensory array, and even still, she could scarcely grasp the scale of what she was watching. One moon gained upon another, each of them large enough to be planets in their own right, and Jupiter loomed behind them. I thought that was a just tremendous way to describe exactly what the prompt is showing. Really liked that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very cool. I guess one final note I just want to make about comma placement. There's some places here. I think you've had this comma issue in the past, Nick, but there are places where you don't need commas, but you add them. And there's a couple of places where you do need a comma and you didn't put it. But your main issue, I think, is adding commas where you don't need them. And just, I'll say, for example, there's like a few examples throughout this, but for example, I don't know, about halfway through where the paragraph is, the sun was dimmer at this distance past the habitable zone. So the stars shone even brighter against the black, pinpricks of light, brilliant in their contrast with the swirling angry tapestry of Jupiter. So you don't need a comma after black. So it's the black pinpricks of light, comma, and then you need a comma after light. So if you move that comma from after the word black to after the word light, then it just comes off much smoother for the reader. So even shown even brighter against the black pinpricks of light, comma, brilliant in their contrast. You know, so
yeah.
Just a note about commas, maybe just a proofread about comma placement, I'd say.
Yeah, and one thing I always notice them whenever I'm reading it out loud. Any comma misplacement, because I'm guilty of the same. Like, I will drop commas in places whenever I'm just writing and I don't realize it, but then I just sit there and reading it aloud or just going back and reading it, they always jump out to me. And this one was noticeable, especially the one you just mentioned. When I was reading it aloud, I was like, oh, yeah. I thought we were trying to do something else, like setting up. Yeah, I thought because when you put comma right there, it sounds like pinpricks of light words.
Like against,
yeah.
Right, like, because you're thinking like against the black, as though it is a substantive adjective, against the black, and then comma, pinpricks of light, brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I believe Steve pointed it out. We have an incomplete paragraph. What did she feed the mass energy into? What did she feed it?
I want to know.
Presumably the warp trolley's engine. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's how she gets back.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you very much, NickedYou. I really enjoyed this one. Yeah.
Thank you, Nick. I also really enjoyed this one. I like Nadia's style.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so up next we have I Swear to Gods 2, Duped by Walker by Faith.
Yeah. Duped. Okay, so man, Walker, I really enjoyed this because I could definitely relate to parts of it quite deeply. We're having like a continuation of his, interaction with the gods that showed up at his house, Janus and
Anubis.
Anubis
Yeah.
and Jesus, right? And so he's having another question, and this time he's a little bit more cautious about how he summons God because he doesn't want like about. But then he actually does get some other rando god,
Yeah.
Zeus,
Uh-huh.
namely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So I really immediately related to this because of the thing about um, purity culture. Yes, because I too, okay, I grew up very deep in the church and the purity culture and etc. And after I kind of got out of that system, I am very, very suspicious of anyone that I meet at church. Because I'm just like, I don't know if we're on the same page. Like, we believe in the same God, but I don't know. It's weird because I go to church too. So it's really hypocritical of me to feel so suspicious about other people that go to church. But it's like, are you one of those like youth minister types, that's like, we can't kiss until we're married or something? Because that's not going to work out.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. So I think I had mentioned before, and I'm sure several others listening are familiar with the Flanagan's Wake podcast, who's going through Midnight Mass right now.
Yes.
And they just reached a part where there's kind of a divide between two of the main characters. But it's basically they're kind of discussing that. And granted, this is all around Catholicism, and one character is frustrated with another, and they're both devout Catholic people, and they do not agree with the way that that they're acting, like they're at a kind of crossroads. And it just makes me think like that's how, different sects of faith, like different sects of Christianity come about, is just through like disagreements on how to put into practice something. And so yeah, I can completely understand what you're talking about there.
Yeah, so okay, so he meets this woman and she was hot.
That Europa?
He says not as in, oh no, I think it's the woman he met at church.
Oh.
Yeah. The woman, I mean, Europa is obviously hot, but
obviously
the woman he met at church that, he wants to bang. And he says she was hot too, not as in supermodel quality, which I take a little bit of issue with the word quality here.
Yeah.
I would say not as in supermodel hot, or something like that, but whatever.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. Because like that's not a different. It's just a different type of hotness, not necessarily a different quality of hotness.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. This character seems to have. He's a bit crude. He's just a little crude, which is interesting, especially because we're in first person here, and so all of this just comes off as like, this is just who this guy is, One line that really stuck out to me is, I was stuck. I liked this religious nut, but I also liked to nut. It was a conundrum. I was like, wow. Okay. So yeah, he's just a little...
He's very honest.
He is honest, and a little crude in his honesty, but yeah.
Well, that's one of the parts that I really, really identified with.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you meet somebody religious, you're like, oh, I really like this person. But I also like sex.
Yeah.
And if you're going to try to ban me from that, it's just not going to work out.
Nope, not going to work. No.
Not going to work. So yeah, I definitely identified with that. And yeah, and he's like, that didn't really align with my whole merit system for a relationship. Like, yeah, I get that. Okay, but it sounds like then we have the gods show up again, or at least one of, Zeus shows up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with
and
a few
Zeus
in tow.
shows up with, yes, Zeus and his entourage.
Yeah.
With which, by the way, happen to all be his rape victims. But
Great.
we've got yeah, we've got Zeus, we've got Io, we've got
Europa.
Yep, we've got Europa. We've got the cupbearer and the bear. Who's the bear again?
I don't remember. There's a lot of symbology in here. All obviously around the idea of these celestial bodies that are
right
in the prompt, but a lot of this was new to me. Like I didn't understand exactly what we were setting up until it comes down to some people, call me Jupiter, and I was like, oh, okay. And this is Ganymede, Bear of Cups, and Europa. She is mine, you horny little man. Ignore the animals. So a lot of that setup, I felt like the descriptions, rather, I think might have landed a little more clearer to me had the introduction happened first. Because I was getting a lot of these I was getting a lot of descriptions around these people, and I was just kind of, I was just a little confused. And then we get to that. I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. And then I went back and reread it, and I really could appreciate that a little bit more. But anyway, I just think the introduction might be better served before those descriptions.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I really do like the metaphor here, because you've got Zeus, and he's basically encouraging the point of view character to just take it, just take what you want, basically. And that's very in line with Zeus, what we know of Zeus. He's the rapist. He's rapey. He's rapey as hell. Yeah. And he's there, in fact, with four of his many, many rape victims. Which, isn't it tragic that those 4 rape victims are sentenced to an eternity of orbiting around their attacker?
That it is tragic, yeah. Admittedly, that is absolutely tragic. In that case, with him being named Jupiter, Roman tragedy, versus Zeus as a Greek tragedy. But either way, it is, yeah. And to this day, they'll always be remembered as being in his orbit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's fascinating. Okay, that's fascinating. I did not know that they were all rape victims. And so that casts this whole thing in a very different light. Yeah. Fascinating. Yeah, I don't know much about that mythology.
Right. Yeah, so it's just, that's how we view it now. Of course, back then it was not called that. Whenever the stories were written, it was just oh yeah, and then he turned into a bull for Europa, turned into a cute white bull, and then ran away with her, and then had sex with her, and blah blah blah. And he did that with all of them, so it wasn't really called rape per se. It was just kind of he basically, Are you there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I was looking at a few things. I wasn't sure what do you know what the reference to the bear is?
Yeah, the reference to the bear is one of his victims who he turned into a bear, but I can't remember their name. Wait, is it Callo? No. I can't remember the name of it.
It's not Callisto.
No, I was thinking Callio. No, hold on. The bull or the cow is Io.
Yeah, the cow is Io. I knew that one.
And the bear is somebody else.
4 moons. Callisto. Yeah, Callisto is the bear. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And there you have it.
Yeah, and Ganymede and Europa. Yeah. Yeah, we don't get much of Ganymede or Europa. They're just kind of there and present. But it seems like Europa has the attention of our character here, because she's described as utterly beautiful, stunning. Yeah. So that's
Patty.
She kind of shows up just whenever. Well, they all just kind of show up, but she kind of commands his attention, and Zeus says, or Jupiter says, no, she's mine. And then we don't really get any more of that until a little bit later. And basically just confirming that, yeah, she is beautiful.
Oh yeah, she a hottie. She's actually the mother of Minos, the father of the Minotaur.
Yeah, not the father of the Minotaur. That's right. I forgot about that.
The husband of the mother of the Minotaur.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I do note that the contrast between the style of Zeus and, Yahweh, God or Jesus.
Yeah.
Who is like, she's worth the wait, and it's not actually just sex that you want. I just feel like that's really well represented here, like the difference in their styles,
Yeah. But also that they were compared early on in the story just based on the way that they speak. But we learned very quickly that no, this is not the voice of God that he heard in the first entry that we got. But it could be confused. But and as soon as he starts getting into like the more substantive things that he wants to discuss, I said, no, this is Jupiter. He's very different. He is a very large and all powerful God, little g, but in this case, he's not the one from the first entry. And so, yeah, we get she is worth the wait. And then we get the difference. Who said that? Boomed Jupiter. Show thyself. And so he is not scared.
The newbie did not.
Yeah, he's not scared or like, but he is like insulted, I guess, in a way. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
He feels threatened because he was like the boss, and then suddenly somebody else comes in and is like, no, actually something else,
Yeah. Yeah, something loud and bombastic and all powerful and knows it versus something very quiet but permeates everything basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way you described Jupiter lost it. His eyes were swirling so fast. I expected a lightning show at any moment. Yeah. Demanding the spirit or ghost show himself, but the room was empty. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is a fun one. I like the ideas that you're exploring here. I also like this for its ability to educate. Like this is bringing up a lot of very interesting mythology, but also you can dive into just current other cultural beliefs. Like there's a lot of directions you can take this idea that you have, and I think this is very creative. And this
great, and I like thinking of it that way, that it's educational as well.
Yeah, absolutely, because these are things that people don't. You see Jupiter and a couple of its orbiting moons in this prompt, and this is where you took it to, and basically the roots of how they got their names in the first place and how it ties into this, I think is remarkable. That was a very creative leap, and so I commend you on that.
Yeah, that was great. I loved it.
Yeah, me too. Excellent entry, Walker.
Very good. Very phantasmal.
Oh, phantasmal. Yes. Oh, yeah.
It was phantasmal. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, like literally.
Literally. Yeah. And
literally.
Up next, we have By Jove by Richie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By Jove.
By Jove. By Jove.
By Jove. By Jove.
So, what'd you make of this?
I thought it was a great start to a very interesting and creepy story.
Yeah, especially that little sting that we get at the end, the thin dribble of blood. Yeah.
Yeah, so after kind of realizing that he was talking about space vampires, I'm like, okay, so what about those? Okay, so he's talking about turning them, so are those bodies just being used for food, or are they trying to turn them into vampires to colonize,
Yeah, and we don't really know. the impression that I was left with was that they're basically livestock until something happens and they get somewhere and maybe they can start to turn more of them. I don't know. I just got the impression that they were keeping them more as livestock, which is horrifying.
Okay, like food.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I guess it's the fact that they talked about turning half of them that made me think that they wanted them to become one of them, or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to see this, like, we should have enough, more than, as long as we rotate each batch and allow ample time and fluids for proper regeneration. We have 243 bodies remaining in cryosleep. As long as we keep the crew from quarreling over rations, there should be enough to feed all of us. Even if we turned half of those remaining, it will still be more than adequate once we get a rotation started. So yeah, that's interesting because that's just fascinating. Space vampires talking about rationing this way is so interesting. I have so many questions. Like, how
I know.
And when you think about it, it makes such good sense. Like, they can't have sunlight touch them or anything. But when you're in space, you're in presumably some sort of sealed capsule where no light can reach you by design. Absolutely fascinating. Right? This is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the idea of space vampires.
Never once.
The closest thing I can relate it to is this one Star Trek episode where there were these aliens who would deplete your salt content and kill you. Like, you would die because they would like suck out all of your salt. That's
weird. Yeah, I don't. I've never heard of that one either.
Yeah, because I remember it was probably Spock who was explaining to the crew, like,
of course,
what you don't realize that the human body needs salt, and without it, we die, or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're all like, what? They're all like shocked.
In the future, you don't need to know these things.
No.
Only Spock needs to know, and he'll let you know if it's important.
Yeah, he'll let you know what you need to know. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we got Spock. It's fine. And then in TNG, it's Data. Data has all the data.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, this is utterly fascinating, Richie, and I really like that you submitted this to us, even in its very kind of truncated form. This is such a fascinating idea, and I hope you run with this in some way. This is so creative. I would absolutely read this.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree, and I also like that you submit it to us in a truncated way, because it's like quality over quantity. You know? You're like, hey, this is what I got right now. I'm not going to try to add more words just because I feel like I have to. This is just what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, this has just got my head spinning with ideas, so it's very good. It's very creative in that way. So thank you, Richie.
Yeah, thanks, Richie.
Yeah, and that is all of our stories for this week. So shout outs to NickedYou for being selected here today, as well as Walker and Richie. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Little thin this week, but everybody's busy. It's fine. I get it.
And honestly, like, it kind of worked out well because it's hard to do this remotely. And so it's a lot easier when we're like in the same room, so it's kind of perfect timing to have a meager turnout,
Yeah. So thank you all for understanding. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank y'all.
And that takes us into episode 73.
73.
What do you got for prompts?
Right. A mundane scene, something where nothing really hugely significant happens, but it's really just all about the details of the scene.
Yeah. Yeah, so exactly that. And I think this will serve as a nice contrast to the Jupiter prompt, which was just so big and grand and huge. So let's take it
Yeah.
the other extreme and do something very, very mundane, very
Yes.
unimportant, but nevertheless,
Yeah.
yeah, just I guess because we've been discussing observant
Valuable.
writing. Yeah. Yeah, observe what it is to
Yeah.
be mundane.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that this is really gonna like exercise our observational skills.
Yeah.
Because you have to really, when there's not something huge and earth shattering happening, you have to really like zero in on the little seemingly insignificant things, you know,
Yeah.
which are actually significant because the vast majority of our life is made up of those little things.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you stitch
Mm-hmm.
together enough mundanity and it suddenly becomes profound. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the words to accompany your mundane scene are that, relate, run, palm, and dealer. So first up is that.
All right. I'd like to start us off by saying that I love the word that. I've been a fan of the word that since I was like, I don't know, 10, maybe 8 even. Yeah. I think the word that is humorous. So it's like a huge container,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
And I
It's a
love
huge
it's
container.
just monosyllabic, just that.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like it's such a
That.
cool word, yeah.
It is. And I feel like I would just like to talk about things like a vat. I want to dive into a vat of gravy or something like that, you know? Or a vat. I often talk about vats of grits
Ooh,
just
yeah.
because,
Mhm.
like,
Because I mean, of
what
course, yeah.
is better than that? Because, of course, yeah, because obviously.
Mhm.
So vat station, yeah, it could be an adjectival noun. The vat store where you go to buy vats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And this is definitely one of those words that it starts to not mean anything after saying it only for like a few seconds. That you're like, what?
Yeah, and I
What
think
the
that's
hell?
just
And
the sonic quality of it. It's so simple and it's so
yeah, it's so simple.
scarcely defined between like fat, vat, bat, like,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
so unique in
exactly.
that way, and it's so unique from all of those other words that are so sonically similar. Yeah, such an
Yeah,
interesting word. Yeah.
right. And what I was about to say is that fat, yeah, that and fat are phonetically the same word, only that the first letter of that is voiced, but it's the same letter in fat, only it's unvoiced. It's
Ah.
and yeah. So I kind of wonder if they're like linguistically related because they
Ooh,
both
yeah.
mean big, you know,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
in a way.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That wouldn't surprise.
We'd have to
Yeah, I
look
hadn't
into
thought
that.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I would also not be surprised by that.
Interesting. Interesting. Cool.
Yep.
And our next
Yeah.
word is relate.
Relate. Relate? Okay, relate. Relate. It's a verb. So it's like associate.
Yeah.
Oh. And how it relates to relate is a verb. Like how it's like the same as or like connected with somehow, relate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because the noun would be relation or relationship.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I guess
And then the
relation would be the
adjective would
direct
be
noun. Yeah. To relate.
yeah, and then the adjective would be related.
Uh huh.
So connected, like how something connects to something else, relate. But also, it's used sometimes as a verb that means, could you relate to me what occurred? Blah blah blah. So it's
Yeah.
like report, kind of.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Almost like
and
relay, like how you relay
right,
information.
right, exactly. And relate means late means carry, and re is again or back. So it literally means like carry back,
Yeah.
strangely enough. Yeah.
Huh.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
Relate.
Relate. Right on.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm, yep.
our
Yeah.
next word is run.
Run, run. That's a simple one.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. So yeah, run can be a verb or a noun. So run, like you can have like a dog run,
Uh huh.
right?
You can go
Or
for a run.
go for a run. Yes, go for a run. Run, obviously, as a verb. I consider running to be different from jogging. So running is like faster than jogging, run.
Yeah.
Run is also another one of those very, very simple and basic words.
Yeah, it can mean a lot of things, and it can apply to a lot of
Yeah.
different circumstances. So, this is really weird that this is the first one that popped in my head. That's not the obvious one. Is you can have a run in pantyhose, can't you? Isn't that a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A run. Yes, there's a run in my hose. Yes.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is weird. Why did I know that?
I don't know, but that's true. It's like, it means like a
tear,
kind of. Yeah, a tear in your pantyhose is a run. Yes. I've got a run in my hose. Yeah, we said that a lot in the 80s. I remember that.
Yeah.
My mom said it a lot.
Okay.
And then also, well, no, she would just say that because she would force me to wear like tights.
Oh.
Yeah. Especially like on Easter.
There you go.
And she would be like, "Oh, there's a run in your tights," or whatever. But also you could say something like, "We had a good run."
Yeah. Oh yeah, and not referring to like physical exercise, but like had a good
it's like
go at it.
Yeah, a good go at it, a good run. Yeah, exactly.
Huh. Yeah. A lot of uses for run.
So many. Oh, and also running, something could be like running out, like the water runs, the liquid runs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably a lot more that we're not even thinking about.
Like a yolk and an egg can run.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a runny egg. A runny yolk. I like me a runny yolk.
I do too. Eggs over
Yum.
easy. Maybe over medium if I'm feeling less adventurous, but yeah, over easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Over easy. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And our next word is palm.
Palm. Ooh, okay. Man, palm. Palm is a verb, a noun, and an adjective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as a noun, it's a substantive adjective. So a palm. Okay. First of all, you have your palm. Oh no, and there's the palm in your hand. Yeah. So palm in your hand, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then you can palm something. Isn't that some type of sexual thing, palming, or did I just imagine that?
I don't. If it is, I don't know what it is. I know, like, you can palm a basketball. You can palm something, as in like you steal something. I believe it's called palming something.
Oh yeah. You can just palm something like just by like holding it in your hand, in your palm.
Yeah, like one-handed hold something.
Yeah. Okay, and then palm is also the tree, the palm tree.
Yeah. Yeah, which an adjective would be like a palm frond. That would make it an adjective.
Yes, a palm frond. In that case, it can also be the substantive adjective where you just call a palm tree a palm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, there's zillions. Honestly, palm is quite... And palm, I'd like to mention, features the phonetic dark L.
Ooh, talk about that dark L. That sounds hot.
Yeah, it is because we have the L, which is la 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 la. But for words like palm, we don't touch our tongue to the roof of our mouth to make the L, or to the back of our teeth like we do normally with an L, or to the front of our teeth. L L L. We don't do that. In fact, the tongue doesn't even touch anything. Palm. It's just in the kind of lower middle of your mouth, but you're doing like a...
Oh, that's weird. I never considered it because, it is an L.
Yes.
You treat it like an L, but it's not an L.
Right. Like, so when we spell it, it's an L, but actually phonetically, it's a completely different phonetic symbol.
Yeah.
Because it's it's almost like gagging, like Yeah, palm. Anyway, so folks, that's called the dark L.
That's rad. That's awesome that's what it's
called.
Know. It gets the coolest dark L. Oh, that's good.
I'm so glad that you appreciate that.
Oh, I appreciate the hell out of that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
And our final word is dealer.
Dealer. Okay. So, dealer is one who deals. So
Whatever they want.
Yeah, whatever they want. It can be you could be like a wheeler and a dealer.
Ooh.
It's just like a person who goes around, I don't know, making deals all the time or something.
Mm-hmm.
You could be a drug dealer. You could be a car dealer.
Mm-hmm.
You could be a car dealer.
You could be an electronics dealer. I know about that.
An electronics. Okay. Would you call yourself an electronics dealer?
I work for an electronics dealer. Yes, I do.
Amazing. I love that. Dealer.
There's dealerships.
Dealerships.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it could also be an adjectival noun. I think you could go to the dealer station.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I think you could. Where you go find whatever type of dealer you want.
Yeah, they're just all
the dealers
hanging out
are right
at the
there in one
station.
place.
Yeah. They just rove
the
from
dealer
station to station like gypsies.
They rove. They rove. I love that.
Hell yeah.
Yes. But if you just say, he's my dealer, you're almost certainly talking about drugs.
Almost certainly. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So those words again are that, relate, run, palm, and dealer.
If you want to be like these wonderful writers and submit your story to You Write, head on over to our subreddit at reddit.com/r/YouWritePod.
If you are unable to submit a story this week, that is totally fine. You can always help us out by reading and commenting on other people's stories.
Each time you post a story or leave a comment on someone else's submission, you increase your chances of having your story read on the podcast.
You can also reach us at yourightpod@gmail.com. If you just want to chat, you can reach us there.
Oh yeah, we're there. If you like our show and want to help support us, consider donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/YouWrite.
If you're unable to donate, that is totally fine. Completely understand. You can always help by sharing the podcast with other writers and non-writers alike, and just share the love.
Share the love. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you know as soon as new episodes are available.
Also, be sure to leave us a rating and a review in your podcatcher of choice. I know YouTube has comments, so does Spotify. Feel free to leave us some comments.
And remember, join us next week on You Write,
a podcast where you write.
The sun come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun.
See y'all next week.
Just thinking about tomorrow. There's away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. I don't know how that last part goes.
I don't either. I was just like, wait, what is it after that? I don't know.